Carson's Conversations.
Next on, I think the other thing that is in having conversations with people that'll help them is the lack of confidence and the lack of, I say, pride in what they like. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and they were talking about how they really do like acting, and they think that's something they would really like to do. And they've done a whole bunch of courses on it, and they're like, oh, maybe I should try this out. Maybe this will work. Maybe that'll work. And they don't have the confidence, or not the confidence, they're too scared of what other people will say when they go to an audition, or say they get a part, or they go to like theater camp or something like that. They're too worried about what they have to say, which that completely ruins everything about what you want in life, right? Like, you don't want to lose what's near and dear to your heart because someone else said something like that. Like, come on. Like, just do what you want to do to ensure that you're going to be happy. And I think happiness is the main ingredient in a long, good life, because there's nothing else that you can do. And if you're angry all the time, you're not going to be happy. Like, I'm working at Fortino's, and there's just a whole bunch of people that do not like what they're doing. They're just doing the same thing every day for 40 hours a week, getting paid like 14, 10 to highest maybe $18 an hour. Like that. That's not something that I would ever find enjoyable. And I know most of those people there don't find it enjoyable. And I think what happened with them is at an early age, they got lost of what they want to do. They didn't follow their passion. And if we go back to the acting kid, if he doesn't follow his passion now, what's going to happen in the future? He's going to end up just like them. He might be in that dead-end job that nobody likes, and he's going to hate it. It might not be as bad as making $14.10 an hour. You might be making a ton of money, but you're not going to be passionate about what you're doing. So that's what I want these podcasts to be about, is going through the steps of other people's lives and how they came across of what they're doing. Or maybe even helping people out. Maybe just giving those other people just like the push. Talking to someone like the acting kid, that I can give them the extra push that'll make them go to what they want to do and advance them into the future so they can be passionate about what they want. There's a whole bunch of other people that can help me grow, I guess, and all that type of stuff too. So we're going to also talk about a whole bunch of other stuff and have a whole bunch of different people on, and hopefully it gets pretty interesting. Pretty cool that you found out at a relatively early age.
Yeah, I was gonna actually bring the story up to you. Basically how I got into it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even. It was just. It's pretty funny. So I was on my way home from soccer with my dad, like 11-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Just living the dream, you know. So he looks at me and he's like, "I think you need to do something productive with your life." And that was pretty hard hitting.
At 11, that's insane.
I was like, "All right, like, what do you got for me then? Like, what do you want me to do?" And he's like, well, I've been going to the gym a lot lately and listening to this genre called trance, which is like really underground. Not underground, but it's an acquired taste for electronic dance music. So he's like, I'll get you all the software and I'll get you all the equipment. So like Christmas comes around and I open up this software and I'm like, this is horrible. Like, I never want to do this ever again.
Yeah.
So I probably spent a couple days and he's like, I want you to learn this software. So I ended up dropping it like any 11-year-old would for probably like half a year, and then I came back to it and just started trying to do whatever I could with the software. I didn't really watch any tutorials or anything. I was like, I'm not about that. I just want to learn it. So I learned the hard way, and it was pretty hilarious. And I didn't really truly, I think, take it seriously and really put hours into it until
you're
I was
11.
14.
There's no way you're gonna.
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm 16, and at 11, I don't even know what I was doing. I don't even know what I'm doing now. So,
I feel the same way. I don't feel like I know anything.
Yeah, because you're 2000.
99.
99. Okay, yes, you're my brother's age.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty ridiculous about like figuring like knowing what you're doing at a young age. It's kind of insane, and like for some people, I'm pretty happy that I found not only podcasting but like entrepreneur and that stuff, like entrepreneurship and stuff like that, because it's just like, oh, I'm gonna do it on my own. I don't really need other people or stuff like that. And
that's
it's like,
exactly how I feel. I'm like, I just want to do this by myself.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, if you have your thing where no one can kind of interfere with you, it's like, that's your escape from everything.
It's bliss.
So, it's total bliss.
The best.
And time just flies, too. It's like, I'll sit down making music and from the morning till the evening, and it'll be like, where has my day gone?
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
So.
And that's honestly, that's another moment that I just recently had.
That's good.
As of literally Monday, because Monday was the first day I put the podcast out because the microphones literally just came in.
Nice.
And I gotta thank you for helping me out and picking microphones and all that stuff like that.
Of course.
And I was just like, oh my god, this is so entertaining. This is a blast.
Yeah.
I have a camera, I have a laptop and 2 microphones.
It's
now
fun.
all I need is another person.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we
conversation.
Yeah, exactly. With me.
Yep.
But the whole thing was like, it was so difficult to try and talk for 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And we were talking about this a little bit earlier before we started recording, but it's just like, how am I gonna talk for 20 minutes? And it's like out of nowhere it just picked up.
It just happens. Yep.
It just kind of flowed. So what type of flow, or you're talking about how it just works easily, but like what is the best area for you that just you can do it easily, no issue?
Make music?
Yeah.
No issue. First thing in the morning is no issue. Yeah. Just wake up in the morning, get some coffee, and just go at it.
Yeah.
And it also has to do with your space. I think like if if the room that I'm in is super cluttered or whatever, I won't be able to produce as well as I normally can, or the ideas won't come to me. But yeah, it's just like when everything's kind of calm and set up in life, I can make the best music. I'm not worried about anything.
And there's a lot. Was it something about? It was a competition sponsored by
Intel.
Intel.
Yeah.
So
that's
what was all that
the
about?
Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, or Intel ISEF,
Yeah.
as they abbreviate it. And so I got a call in February of when I was in grade 8, and they called me and they got in contact with me, and they were like, oh, your successes in the 2015 Canada-wide competition were incredible, and so we were wondering if you'd like to be a Broadcom Masters International student, which is essentially I served as the single middle school delegate from all of Canada at the international fair. So I was like a student observer. I took part in a program that connected me with like 24, 25 others that were representing their own countries.
Yeah.
So it was so cool. I mean, I think it was one of the most important weeks of my entire life. I learned so much from that. And we kind of touched base on this in part 1 or take 1. But but like the passion that other people have for a subject that you're passionate about, I don't know, it's just like the environment and the space. There's so much energy, and there's just a lot going on. Like,
I think the best way to put it, because the best way to put it would be, it's really just, there's so many people, so many great and like-minded people around you that it just kind of builds up. It builds not only the pressure of playing and doing well,
right?
But it builds up. Let's do this. This is something big. Let's put all my heart into this. Let's put as much as I can into this.
Yeah.
And let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, we're like for a school fair.
Yeah.
Where it's just you're in your gymnasium putting cardboard things up.
That's important too.
That's
it's a good start. It's a good
That's
start.
important too, but the pressure of like a big, large scale conference, especially something sponsored by a big brand like Intel.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is. It's a very good environment. And there's a lot of positive exchanges about science, and people form a lot of connections. Like, I'm still in contact with a lot of the other delegates that I met from that program. I mean, we still talk on a regular basis, like, how's your projects, or like, what research are you doing? And they're all doing amazing things. So yeah, that was like my elementary school experience with science fairs. And then in high school, when grade 9 started, I took it a lot more seriously. Because obviously there was much more that I saw that I could do after having been to ISEF in grade 8. And I kind of took it from there. I did a project on looking at the protective effects of a protein on dopaminergic neurons, which are the neurons that are dying in Parkinson's disease patients. And I did a little bit of work to see that it could be therapeutic. And
therapeutic meaning like solving some of the main issues? Yeah, like tremors and stuff
healing it.
Oh,
kind of.
Healing, okay.
Therapeutic is essentially like drugs are therapeutics. Like they're helping.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking therapeutic as in a different term, but...
Yeah. So I presented that at at the regional fair, and I won a gold and a couple of special awards, and then I got to go to the national fair in May. Again, this is all in the same year. and I presented the same project, and I got a silver medal, which was I was really happy with that, because I'd found kind of my safe spot, being science fairs, and I was like, yeah, this is something that
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.